What's up, everybody? Last night we got an awesome night of Star Wars with the Bad Batch two-part finale and then the 5th episode of The Mandalorian. Right up front, I'll give you your one and only spoiler warning for episode 5 of The Mandalorian, as this is a full spoiler review. So with that out of the way, let's get into it. We start off on Navarro as Gorian Shard is back for revenge after the events of episode 1. This does escalate later on in the episode, but the key thing here is that Shard tells Greef Karga that he knows he's not under the protection of Moff Gideon any longer. This could be important for a couple reasons. First, it could mean that Gideon did send Shard to attack Navarro, as CARSON TEVA speculates during the episode that there's more to the situation on Navarro than meets the eye. But also, it means that people know Navarro is relatively unprotected, at least when Shard attacks. With Greef having run the guild there, it opens up the planet to some dangerous possibilities if anyone is out for revenge on the newly appointed High Magistrate. From there, we jump to CARSON TEVA as he receives the message from Karga that Navarro is under siege. He's going to take that off to Coruscant to ask the New Republic to aid them. But before he heads off, we get cameos from Deborah Chow and Dave Filoni with his iconic cowboy hat on and all. Oh, and not to mention, Zeb is there. He looked absolutely amazing in his live-action debut, as he's the first member of the Ghost Crew to make it into live-action officially. Of course, we know the rest will show up in Ahsoka, except for Kanan, that is, but I think it's really cool that Zeb is helping out with the New Republic now, seemingly picking up right where he left off at the end of Rebels, as he does venture with Kallus to his people. However, he and Kallus have been doing this type of thing for a while together. Back to CARSON TEVA though, when he's on Coruscant, he reaffirms the rumor that Moff Gideon did not reach his trial. During this scene, he has a heated interaction with Elliot Kane, who is most definitely a double, triple, quadruple agent working for Moff Gideon within the New Republic. TEVA's request for help is ultimately denied, mainly because Navarro is not signed into the New Republic and there are other planets that are members currently in need. So with the unfortunate news, TEVA tracks down the Mandalorians on Arvala 7, using R5 to track them as they serve together in the rebellion. I gotta admit, this kinda didn't sit right with me, and it still doesn't. They're supposed to be in a place where no one can find them, and I'm not sure how Carson would have known R5 was with Din. However, it truly isn't that big of a deal, and could come down to something as simple as there was a tracker on R5. Their interaction leads to Din pleading with the Creed to go interfere on Navarro, and that's because Greef helped him and Grogu escape in the end of Season 1, and as we know from last week, that is of the highest honor within the Creed. At first, it seems like their bid for help is not going to work, as Paz sternly requests the Four to talk, and starts off by mentioning the brothers and sisters he watched fall fighting on Navarro in Season 1, but then comes in with an iconic Vizsla Clan line about how Mandalorians are meant to give their lives for a higher purpose. I think this might also be foreshadowing his death in the fight against the Empire later on in the season, but we'll get to that when we get to that. The Creed packs into Bo-Katan's gauntlet as Din and Grogu lead the way in the N1. I want to give major props to Peter Ramsey and those behind the scenes at IOM, because this was once again an amazing sequence in the N1, as they are truly proving why Din has reverted to that over another Razor Crest. As Din and Bo are taking on Shard's air forces, we get some epic sequences in the streets of Navarro as the Creed drops in, taking out pirates left and right. That is, of course, until they're pinned down and sandwiched, as it seems their fate is sealed, but not if Paz has anything to say about it. He drops in with his minigun, saving the day as he makes the pirates eat laser and clears the streets for his brothers and sisters. And just as they think they're safe, there's more pirates in Karga's office that set up a cannon and take out a couple Mandos, even injuring Paz. But just as he did in the streets, the Armorer comes in, swinging her hammers around like she's the goddess of thunder as she gets her first time to shine since the stormtroopers infiltrating the covert in Season 1. With the ground forces taken care of, it was up to Bo and Din to take out Shard's command ship, and they do so successfully, taking out the engines one by one as Gorian refuses to abandon the situation as he goes down, as many honorable captains do, and that's with his ship, seemingly debunking the rumors, though, that he'd be the villain in the Skeleton Crew show, but who knows? Admiral Trent survived countless times, so maybe Gorian will too. As a result of their valiant efforts, High Magistrate Karga opens up Navarro to the Creed, assuring them that they have a new home, even though their home has been destroyed. But as this is going on, the armorer requests the presence of Bo-Katan and has her take her helmet off, not to trick her and kick her out of the Creed, but to tell her that she does indeed believe her about seeing the Mythosaur and that Bo-Katan is the one to unite their people. She then walks with Bo, who remains helmetless, informing the Creed that Bo-Katan walks both ways and that she is going to recruit more of their scattered Mandalorian brethren because it's time they retake their planet. Finally, we end with Carson TEVA once again as he's investigating a wrecked New Republic transport ship, a ship that was transporting none other than Moff Gideon. So the mumbles in the past few episodes are true. Gideon never stood trial and is out there in the galaxy preparing something sinister. Now I do have a theory on who took him, and that would be Casca Reeves, Axe Wolves, and the rest of the Night Owls that abandoned Bo-Katan when she returned without the Darksaber. It would explain why the Beskar was left behind in the wrecked transport, as well as why they took the captured light cruiser instead of leaving it with Bo. This was a really good cliffhanger for the week, and I can't wait for both Gideon's return and Bryce Dallas Howard's directorial episode next week. But I want to know what you think. Did you enjoy Chapter 21 of The Mandalorian? Go ahead and let me know your thoughts and theories down in the comments below, and subscribe to the channel for more Mando Season 3 coverage, as well as daily news and theories. And most of all, have a great day.